Hi, Smriti. Hi. Hello, everyone who's joined in.
Hi, good
Hey
evening.
Rohini, Rohini is here. Good evening,
You,
good evening.
you already started. It's still 5 minutes to 6 o'clock.
I just thought I'll be early and let
Wait for
people
people
have
to
the time to join
come.
in. Yes, we can wait for five
Good,
minutes.
good, good. Awesome.
Glad
We
to
can wait.
see people are joining in. Yes.
Love your necklace.
Thank you.
It's looking good on you.
Thank you so much. You are looking as pretty as possible, as always.
Thank you. Thank you. Uh,
Rohini,
huh.
the image is coming blurred. Anything to do with the reception
Yeah,
here?
last time because it was getting cut, I'm joining from my mobile network.
Okay, it seems your
So
face is blurred.
because of that probably the image might be blurred.
Okay, okay. Let's see how it goes. I think it will improve
Yeah,
as it
let's
goes.
hope
Yeah,
so.
it's better, a little bit better now. Hi,
Okay.
Shirisha. Glad you could connect. Shirisha is here.
Okay. Hi, Shirisha. Not able to see the. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I can see.
So
Okay, let's
I'll just
actually start by
yes,
recapping last week,
start off.
whatever
Yeah, I
we
was just
talked.
thinking the
Yeah.
same. Yeah, we'll do the
Uh,
recap.
and
So
then by that time, people. Hi,
yeah.
Shirisha. We can see your message now. Yeah.
So friends,
Tell me.
last week was week one when me and Rohini joined together to bring the series Regain Your Confidence. Rohini is a self-image coach and she works on body positivity and image, personal image branding. And I work in the space of energy mastery and mindset. I'll let Rohini take some time to introduce herself and then we'll go to the recap of what we did in week one.
Sure.
Over to you, Rohini.
Thank you, Tanu. Hello, everybody. I'm a self-image transformation coach and a body positivity coach. I help people in basically believing in themselves and not let society, whatever society or anybody else's expectations, stop them from achieving whatever they want to achieve. And I help people live their lives according to their terms.
And that's an awesome thing, Rohini, because so many times we kind of lose ourselves in the crowd and we don't realize that, we have picked up other people's thoughts, intentions, and the way to live. I'm so glad that you bring about this point in your coaching. So, what we both decided was to talk on the concept of on the topic of confidence and how to regain your confidence given the kind of pandemic situation that we all have been going through. Things have been changing very fast and things might not be the same in the coming few months too. So how to stay on in that zone of positivity, how to keep up with your confidence, and how to enable yourself to help yourself to manage yourself during these changing times. And last week, me and Rohini, when we discussed, we did have a little bit of internet glitches and all, but the whole idea about our talk was to understand your strengths. So the takeaways that we both had to give were kind of similar. She was talking more from the perspective of self image, and I was talking from the perspective of energy mastery and mindset. And what we both came down to was almost similar, understanding your strengths and shortcomings on where do your strengths lie, what are the shortcomings and how to get over it, connecting to your own self, getting into your inner awareness, stepping into your own zone of and the strength, understand
Mm.
that the physical aspect is the easiest to handle, and then comes the mindset or the
Mindset.
mind which we have to work on. So have some good milestones set for you in small bites rather than having a big chunk of a goal, and go ahead and start working on it. the third point that even Rohini mentioned big time was your confidence comes from a self-worth. And how have you been feeling lately? Have you been bringing in some kind of a spontaneity? So bring that spark, bring that curiosity, bring that childlike delight in your life to overcome the dullness. Yes, there are a lot of bad news, good news everywhere. Where you choose to put your focus, your energy flows in that direction. So this is what is a short recap of what we spoke last week. And this week we are going to step up to the second level, where I'm going to speak about the mindset part on how to handle or bring about changes to shift your confidence from whatever level it is to the next level. And Rohini, what are you going to share with us?
I'm going to talk about the external changes, changes in your body, changes in your posture, changes in your the way you wear your attire, the changes the way you dress, all these things, how they contribute to your confidence, and most of these things I will be handling. The image part, the external part, I will be handling. I will be talking about it. Tanu.
Awesome. So we are going to cover the inside and the outside, both transformations, and how both, when done in alignment and done together, helps to move across the hurdles that we are facing currently. So I'll give over the mic to you, Rohini. You go ahead and you share what you have to share about our body and
Sure.
image.
I want to start off by saying, see, whenever we do a task or whenever we do something, when do we have confidence to do it and when do we build our confidence during that task is the reason why we are doing it. The main reason why we are doing something becomes so very important at this point. Are you doing that to satisfy societal standards or satisfactions or societal pressures? Are you doing that because someone else is doing it? Or are you doing it because you really want to do it? This becomes a major thing, because when we do things because we want to be doing them, the task and the confidence that task gives you goes to another level. So every single day, start by filling smaller things that you want to do with. You want to do the smaller tasks. It might be just sitting alone for 5 minutes. It might be as simple as that. Just sitting in peace for 5 minutes, as simple as that. That whatever you want to be doing, if you start doing small, simple 5 tasks, which start from there, your confidence level after some time, let's say after 10 days, after 15 days, will definitely go up, because you are taking control of your life. You are taking control of those small tasks. It need not be, whenever we talk about changing our life, changing our mindset, changing our exterior, we always think it is going to be something big. We always think people who are, in that zone, or people who are actually successful, people who are doing everything, you think they are doing something very different, very drastic, very big. This is the question that most coaching clients ask me, that you are telling me only small things. How can that work? But most of these small changes is what is going to make a very big difference in our lives. These are the things that's going to give you compounded confidence at the end of a long term, done consecutively, done continuously, done constantly. These are the things that will give you a very compounded confidence. The confidence that you carry by doing this every day is what is going to give you the end result. And it is not only true for adults, it is very true for kids as well. Start by making them do smaller things and see the result at the end of a week, at 15 days. You will definitely see a very big difference in their confidence level. Because this happens because your self-esteem slowly starts going up.
Right.
There is no big trick, or there is no big cover up for
rocket
this.
science about
no
it.
big rocket science to this. These are the things that you need to be doing. Consider everything you're doing in a day and question yourself, why are you doing this? If you are doing most of the things in your day to please someone else, because someone else wants you to do, and you are not taking time to do things that you want to do, then you are definitely losing your confidence in your day-to-day life. It,
True.
it does not. And when you have to get that confidence in an instant when you are doing something big, it doesn't come. You feel like, oh
You're
my
not
God, suddenly I'm
habituated.
out of control. Yeah, you're not habituated. So these are the small, small things that you need to consider every day. And the compounded effect actually becomes your stepping stone to a very confident you, very new you, a very different you.
Right.
You want to continue after this for a while?
That's wonderful because I agree, Rohini, what you mentioned. Um,
Mhm.
we have, like, when we have to go for a wedding, we wear a
Mhm.
certain kind of clothes, or we, dress up in a certain way. We have a different mindset along with it. When we go
Exactly.
to a party, we have a different mindset. When we go to a school meeting, we have a different mindset. So along with the kind of occasions we have a
Mhm.
different mindset. We have a different set of projecting ourselves to. And here is where I will like to bring, because it kind of works with what you're saying. Like, we have different occasions, we have different mindsets too, towards ourselves and towards the situations. For example, I'll give most
Exactly.
commonly, we have this mindset that in our personal life, we have a mindset that I'm just like this, I'm like this only. Everyone says I'm this or I'm that. You are good at
Mhm.
this, you are not that good at this. And this starts slowly building beliefs around us. We think that this is true and this is me. And that is what I would call brings about a limiting belief, that installs a
Mhm.
limiting belief within you. And when this limiting belief gets compounded with some more beliefs of those kind, when external situations change, we think that it's the truth. That is the truth about me. This is what I am like. This is my personality. This is what I am born with. And the same thing, if it is a career, you will have a different mindset where you'll see that, oh no, I'm ready to learn everything. I'm ready to explore. I'm ready to experiment. I'm ready to work harder for it. But in the same thing, in our personal life, we don't bring that. And that is what we call as a fixed mindset.
Yeah, I
So,
want to give you an example here of what we were talking last week. Just a simple thing. You know how
yes.
many people have come, how many people have told me in the last 1.5 years that, I was going to office, it was nice. I used to meet people face to face. I used to get dressed. I used to go to office. Point is, he once again, that is a limiting belief because who is stopping you from doing these things? I mean, you don't go to office, but still you can still switch on your cameras during meetings. You can still get dressed and sit for your meetings. You can do whatever you were doing before going to office, the routine that made you feel that you were going to office. You can still do all those things. you know
Yes,
you
the
can you
space
can
and the
have a,
physical presence has changed.
yeah,
But why is
has
your
changed,
thinking
but
changed so drastically?
the mindset, that mindset is also a limiting belief because we are letting ourselves believe that just because we are not going to office, things have to be different. We
True,
have to
true,
sit in
true.
our sit in our pajamas and basically not do much of the stuff that we were doing before, but that is not
Absolutely.
exactly true. It is basically still in our minds. It's not. Even yesterday I was talking to someone that it's okay, no, you don't have to deck up for meetings.
I think it's not
So
about decking up or putting up
that
a makeup. It's more about feeling you, how you feel
exactly,
about yourself.
exactly, it's more about
And if
giving
you
yourself
feel
that.
space and you want to give that kind of a room for yourself, just do whatever
Mm,
it takes to do it.
whatever it takes,
Yes, we
exactly,
have
true,
some
very
physical
true.
constraints, we do have some social constraints currently, but what is possible in that box as of now, we can still work on that. So I was speaking about the fixed mindset. The fixed mindset is something which we have to first understand that it is happening to us. What are those thoughts that have come recurrently to you, and where you feel that this has been a fixed mindset, this has been a fixed mindset, this has been a, just go on. So there are 3 steps to overcome this confidence draining due to the mindset that we are carrying. First is to, very important is to first recognize that what am I talking to myself? Is it something very toxic for me? So we don't say bad words or things to others, but we so easily talk harshly, or we are very strict to ourselves, and we kind of don't want to say that, I have this kind of a mindset. The second point, the second takeaway for overcoming the confidence draining is to accept first that I have a fixed mindset. Once you recognize, you accept it is a fixed mindset, and then you say that I am as I am. I am enough. And the third thing is to shift yourself once you have recognized, once you have accepted that there is a fixed mindset and possibly there is an alternative here, shift towards a growth mindset. I will talk about growth mindset a little bit later, because I want Rohini to first work on the, your body, your image. Try to make yourself comfortable with your body and image. And once you're comfortable with you, I will talk about the mindset part, the growth mindset part. Over to you, Rohini. Go ahead.
Thank you. Basically, what gives us confidence when we connect to our bodies? What gives us confidence when we actually accept our bodies as we are? It is not that we all have been fed these stories from childhood that you should be a little bit bigger, you should be a little bit smaller, you should be thinner, you should be fat. We have all gone through these phases. Everybody gives you very free comments. That is one thing very abundantly available in India, that everybody gives you a lot of comments. So we have all, and as kids, we start believing these things also. So we start believing them. We start imagining a different version of ourselves in our heads. So that version and our actual version doesn't match many times. As soon as you accept yourself as you are, as soon as you internalize yourself as you are, that is the biggest confidence booster in your life. That is because you know who you are, because you know what you can and what you cannot do, and what you where is the area that you can grow and gain more confidence in. So this is your biggest body booster. Apart from that, the way we sit, the way we stand, the way we talk, way we walk, every single thing actually projects whether you are confident or whether you are hesitating. If I'm talking like this, you can see my body language, you can see my posture, you can see that my hands are moving very freely along with me. Whatever my hand movements, these are called postures. So whenever we are talking, this happens naturally. It is not like any of us try and do these things. Happens naturally. So when these things sync up, when you are confidently talking, then only your postures and your body and everything is very comfortable, and all these things sync up. Your facial expressions, your postures, everything sync up, giving out a vibe of confidence to the opposite person, giving out. Are you there, Tanu?
Yes. There was a slight freeze.
Okay. So everything that we do, we either don't think, or we either don't realize this, but every part of our external body actually speaks a lot than our words, and has a lot more importance than our words. Even if you're saying, yes, I'm completely confident in a voice like this, I'm very confident, this is not, even if you say that, people don't believe your words. They will still believe your tone, your expression, your body language. That is the power of our bodies that we need to understand, and we need to get together with. We need to adapt to, because this is the power you can leverage. This is the power you can enhance, that can enhance your confidence, which we most of the times ignore. We don't connect to this part of our bodies. We don't connect and use this to our advantage, use this to as a positive to our wherever we want to be confident or whatever we want to be conveying, if we use this to our advantage, if we use this, then the opposite person feels that yes, this person knows what they are talking about. This person knows whatever they are saying is actually true. That is the sense that you want to give whenever you want to be confident in any situation, whether it is social, personal, professional, or any of those situations. One more thing I want to add here, Tanu, is in any situation, eye contact. As we
Yes.
said, we are all living indoors. We are all very happy closing our cameras and talking on
Yeah.
phones to get work done just with our audios. It is still fine. But the connection that eye contact gives you with another person,
Yes.
just for a few seconds, that eye contact, the connection, the trust that the other person can have in you, whether it is a client or whether it is someone you work with or anybody like that, that trust, that the relationship that develops with the eye contact is very, very important. We need to
Right.
actually recognize this and realize this, to be more confident in any sort of situation. So these are the external things that we need to consider and we need to adapt to and understand for us to basically feel confident even internally. See, basically
Right.
it works as inside out and outside in. If you
Outside in,
project
yes. Both
confidence
ways.
outside, you will feel confident inside. If you feel confident inside, you will project it outside. And as
Correct.
soon as you start projecting it, the opposite person also projects it back to you. So it's kind of a
Perfect.
cycle. It's
It's a
kind of a
mirror
cycle.
image.
Yes, exactly, completely. So when the opposite person also projects this back to you, this whatever you confidence you are projecting, when they get projected, they think that you are confident. Their body language changes. That will tell you that yes, they are believing. Yes, they are actually thinking that I am confident. So all of these things combined will give you more confidence.
Right.
So it's kind of a cycle. So you can start anywhere. You can start either inside or outside, or you can work on both to be more confident and to understand what you need to do at the end of this. So you can
Yes.
start from whether inside or outside doesn't matter, but you need to learn how to basically merge these two and understand that our bodies and our mind has to work in sync
Right.
for
I'd
the
really
right kind
agree
of.
with what you're saying, Rohini, because it doesn't matter which you do in a sequence, whether it's inside out or outside in. At what stage are you right now? Are you prepared to take it from inside out? Then work from that perspective. If you're ready to take it from outside in, then you work from that perspective. So basically, what happens is whether you are starting from A to B or B to A, the whole idea is that A and B has to get aligned. You have to get aligned to that concept that both things work. There is nothing like mutually exclusive. You can't work in one area and then not work in the other area. So technically you have to get yourself aligned inside out and outside in. So Rohini, do you have anything more to share with us? Do you have anything
I
more to
think
share with us, Rohini?
I think for this week that's it, Tanu. I think we have covered pretty much the mindset part and the external
So I
changes
have
part.
I have one part to put in is about the growth mindset, and that I'm talking from the energy perspective also.
Sure.
That what is the growth mindset? So like Rohini mentioned that bringing yourself from that outside space, because that is more tangible, that is something that you can see results in faster, and once you see those results then you start working inside out. That is from the mindset part, and this mindset that I'm talking about is a growth mindset. Now how will you map this growth mindset to the energy qualities? I would like to say I work in the domain mostly of masculine and feminine energy qualities, and where this growth mindset you can start installing is by raising your feminine energy qualities of receptivity, of vulnerability, of resilience, and the most important is self love. So receptivity is to be open to receive new learning. Don't have a fixed mindset that I'm only good for this. Open your minds to new learning, exploring parts of yourself which you find tough to change. Every one of us has a comfort zone and we don't like to move out of those comfort zones. So find out that space which who can help you. You can take help of a group, you can take help of a coach to overcome this part, and be open and receptive to accept failures too. As much as successes are everybody loves successes, but failures are the biggest teachers, and be ready to embrace the unknown. The second, vulnerability. Be open to express yourself in a safe zone, in a safe space. Vulnerability is not being weak. Vulnerability is not a weak point or a weakness. It is something to do more with accepting your strengths and your shortcomings. And if you can express your shortcomings, you can take, again here, you can take help of a coach who can help you with understanding your shortcomings and elevating that so it doesn't become a hindrance to your path. The third thing, resilience, is the road to success always has new challenges, unknowns, uncertainties, and even when you lose, resilience is a quality. Even if you lose, the loss shouldn't affect your conviction. That conviction is what builds your confidence. So something that whether you have to challenge yourself or whether you have to take a calculated risk at that space is what you have to think at that point of time. And
Tanu,
it should not
just a
happen
minute.
that, yeah.
Somebody is asking a question: how to decide the safe space for expressing?
Yes,
How do
I
they
will come to
decide
it.
the
I'll come to it.
Okay. Okay.
I'll come to this point. I'm seeing the questions. I'll just finish
Okay.
this 4 points so that first, receptivity, vulnerability, third is resilience, and the fourth point is self-love. And I cannot, it's my favorite subject, I think now. It is one of the longest topics in chapters in my book too. And
Let's do one thing. Let's do a self-love episode
I should
separate.
do, we should do,
Seriously.
Rohini, seriously, because I've
We'll do a
realized
self-love.
that we have put ourselves in such a space that we think that everything has to be perfect, everything has to go along that lines, everything has to fall in the routine, everything has to fall in sequence. We don't realize that perfectionism actually causes a lot of self-doubt, which is a limiting belief in itself and doesn't let you go ahead. It just doesn't let you step ahead
Sure.
from which space you're standing. Perfectionists always need to prove themselves to themselves, not to others. They have to prove to themselves that they are worth everything that they are doing. And everything has to have a proper, perfect result. And we feel chronically start getting depressed about this, and this is not really very safe to move from that space of confidence and come down to the space, fall down to a space where you have so much self-doubt. And also I've realized that some positive thoughts do not come very easily. Negative thoughts come really easily. If you leave a barren land, the weeds will grow faster than actually a useful crop. And the best thing to do it is to avoiding self-talk, negative self-talk, is to start putting yourself into habit of journaling. Record what your thoughts are, record how you think.
Exactly.
And when you see, you don't have. So if somebody asked me, how can you express yourself in a safe space? This is what I'm saying. If it is a possibility for you to talk to somebody, find a person. So if you want to become a doctor, you will talk to a doctor on how he went through his journey of becoming one. If you want to speak to if you want to become an engineer, you will find out details from an engineer. So when you are having a doubt, you won't go and ask some other person who is already riddled with self-doubt. And that is the point where I think you should take help of coaches, you should take help of counselors. I'm not even saying doctors. It's not about psychologists or psychiatrists. I'm talking about people who do therapies, not therapies, counseling, talking, just talking. And that is what you should just find out, who is the right fit for you. Is it a coach, like Rohini works as a self-image coach, I work as an energy mastery coach. Which kind of coach works for you? In fact, a life coach in any sense would help you in
In
these
any
matters.
scenario will definitely help you. I want to add something there
Sure.
about the negative self-talk, basically. Because see, as soon as we say coaches, the first question people ask us, first question people come and ask, don't you have negative thoughts at all?
Of
How
course.
do you, so this, see, it has been a very common question, so I want to add this here. It has been a very common question. See, we are also people. We are also, like everybody else, we also get negative thoughts. It is not like we don't get it. It is how you manage those negative thoughts.
Right.
What level of power you are giving to those negative thoughts? Are you actually considering doing, whenever we start talking negative to ourselves, what are you thinking? How much weight are you giving to that? Or are you just, it's okay, it's just a bad phase and ignore it? We all have those bad phases, we all have those bad days where even our minds are filled with mostly negativity. It is coming from
Of
everywhere,
course.
things are going wrong. All these things keep happening. All these things happen. But what you need to do is how to rightly manage that negative self-talk, how to
Right.
properly manage and how to tell yourself that this is just a phase. This negative talk is just a phase. It is just coming. It will go. It will go on its own. Don't give it any importance at that level. Whatever your either mental, physical, or emotional health requires at that point of time, do that to recover. Do that to get out of that stage and come to a stage once again where you can have a positive talk with yourself. You can be in that positive zone. Everybody goes through this up and downs every single day, but we have to learn how to manage the negative side of it.
Yes, because I'll add to this that we have found out mechanisms that work for ourselves. So there is no one thing that works for all. It is not like one medicine works for
Exactly.
everyone. And
Exactly.
so is the important point of self-love. Only if you
True.
embrace yourself as you are, you will be able to make those changes on the external front, on the internal
True.
front, and that will help you to figure out what is it that you want. Not what your neighbor wants, not what
Exactly.
your sister wants, not what your brother wants,
Very
not
well
what your
said.
parents want. It is always take time for yourself, be it 1 hour, half an hour a day, or an hour a week. Sit with yourself. Don't be scared. Don't be fearful of sitting with yourself. You will have pretty much the kind of insights that we have developed. This mechanism didn't come overnight. These are mechanisms that we developed. That's why I even wrote uh, in the in our program thing that that Rome was not built in a day.
True.
It's only when we go in front of those issues do we realize that what needs to change within us. So that's the reason why I said failures are our biggest lessons. And I think we have kind of given, let me sum up what we said throughout the session today, that
Mm.
that first thing is that you have to put yourselves into a habit of changing in small bites, things that you want to change externally and internally within you, which Rohini also stressed upon, is to start working in small bites every day, because only when you do that you will have a compounded effect and the result that you want to see when you are actually in that situation where you have to display your confidence.
True.
The second point is understanding that do you have a fixed mindset about a certain situation or a or an issue, or is it that you are ready to move across it? So recognizing it, accepting it, and shifting towards a growth mindset really works to you set that base for your confidence. And from my end, how to cultivate that growth mindset is to embrace the feminine energy qualities of receptivity, vulnerability, resilience, and self love. So I hope I have kind of, in a
You have
nutshell,
covered.
brought everything
Yes,
together,
yes, you have
Rohini.
brought
Yes.
everything together very beautifully. Regarding growth mindset, I want to say only one thing. You talked a lot about failure and accepting failure at that stage. There is one thing I firmly believe in. Failure happens only when you give up. In
Right.
between, inside you, you give up with inside. It is still not a failure. It is still you are still continuing to do whatever you want to do. So keep that in mind. It is a very, very good, it has been a very good session today, Tanu. We have
Yes,
exchanged a lot of ideas and
I'm
lot
glad you
of
could, yeah, you could bring in so many beautiful points, Rohini. It was, I hope anyone has any questions. I'll just check through. If there was one question that I hope I answered, that
Mhm.
was how to
uh,
express yourself in a safe.
yeah, exactly. I think that was
Yes,
the
yes, I think that was the only question. If there are
only
any more
question.
questions, please put it across. Yeah,
Or you can
Decove,
definitely
Decove.
send it across to us later as well.
Yes, please follow our Instagram IDs. Rohini, you can reach Rohini at Rohini BV, and you can reach me at Soulful Living with Tanushree. You can bring your questions or any of your challenges, and we would like to take it up as a subject for our next series too. So the next series, the next session is happening next Friday at 6 p.m. and we'll all meet again. Peace, love, and
See you,
light. Signing
everybody.
off. Bye.
Bye, Tanu.
Bye. Bye.